Review of Peter Singer's Famine, Affluence, and Morality, published in 1972. Peter Singer's essay, Famine, Affluence, and Morality, published back in 1972, has since become a foundational text in contemporary moral philosophy and ethical discourse. The text challenges the reader to scrutinize their ethical responsibilities towards individuals suffering from famine and poverty, particularly in a world where affluence is starkly juxtaposed against destitution. This review will explore the key themes, ethical implications, critiques, and its lasting impact on both philosophy and social activism. The essay begins with addressing the famine in East Bengal, a significant humanitarian crisis at the time. He uses this real-world context to illustrate a broader ethical argument that affluent individuals and societies have an affirmative obligation to assist those in dire need, irrespective of their geographic or relational proximity. The moral argument. Singer primarily anchors his argument on a principle he articulates clearly. If it is within our power to prevent something bad from happening without sacrificing anything of comparable moral significance, we ought to do it. This principle challenges traditional views of morality that frequently prioritize obligations to family and community over distant strangers. Singer contends that suffering and death from lack of food, shelter, and medical care are bad, and if we can alleviate these without significant personal cost, we should. Utilitarian framework. The essay employs a utilitarian framework, which posits that the best action is the one that maximizes overall happiness or well-being. He effectively argues that the resources spent on non-essential luxuries could be redirected to save lives. This utilitarian perspective pushes against the boundaries of conventional morality, suggesting that our comfort should not come at the expense of others' suffering. The concept of moral proximity. One of the most provocative aspects of Singer's essay is its critique of the moral proximity argument. Many people feel a stronger obligation to help those who are close to them, families, friends, and communities, than to help distant strangers suffering in distant lands. Singer challenges this notion, arguing that distance should not diminish our moral obligations. He illustrates this with examples, urging readers to recognize that suffering is suffering, regardless of its location. In conclusion, Peter Singer's Famine, Affluence, and Morality is a compelling and thought-provoking piece that remains relevant today. The essay explores key themes including ethical implications, critiques, and its lasting impact within philosophy and social activism. It serves as both a call for charity and a demand for moral accountability in the face of suffering. Practical implications. Singer's arguments have practical implications that extend beyond the realm of philosophy. He advocates for a more rigorous approach to philanthropy, suggesting that affluent individuals should commit a significant portion of their income to effective charities that address global poverty. This call for action has inspired many to reconsider their spending habits and charitable contributions, fostering a culture of ethical consumerism. Critiques of Singer's position. While Singer's arguments are compelling, they are not without critique. Some philosophers argue that his utilitarian approach may oversimplify complex moral dilemmas. The expectation to sacrifice significant portions of income or lifestyle for the sake of distant strangers can be overwhelming and lead to moral paralysis. Critics also point out that such a framework may neglect systemic issues that contribute to poverty, placing undue responsibility on individuals rather than addressing larger structural inequalities. Additionally, some argue that Singer's emphasis on individual action may divert attention from the systemic changes needed to address global poverty effectively. While individual contributions are essential, they cannot replace the need for political and social reforms that tackle the root causes of inequality. Singer's response. In response to critiques, Singer maintains that individual actions can collectively lead to significant change. He emphasizes that while systemic issues are crucial, individual moral responsibility should not be overlooked. By fostering a culture of giving and ethical consideration, individuals can contribute to a larger movement towards social justice. The role of charity. Singer's essay also delves into the role of charity in addressing global suffering. He argues that charity should not be viewed as optional or merely a good deed, but as a moral obligation. This perspective shifts the conversation around philanthropy from a voluntary act of kindness to a necessary duty for those who have the means to help. The effectiveness of altruism. Another critical point Singer raises is the importance of effective altruism. He encourages individuals to consider not just how much they give, but where their contributions will have the most significant impact. This idea has led to a movement that seeks to use evidence and reason to determine the most effective ways to improve the world, focusing on interventions that yield the greatest returns in terms of lives saved or improved. The legacy of the essay, Famine, Affluence, and Morality, has had a profound and lasting influence on both philosophical thought and practical activism. It has inspired countless individuals and organizations to adopt a more ethical approach to giving, shaping the landscape of global philanthropy. The principles articulated by Singer have led to the rise of effective altruism as a distinct movement, encouraging individuals to think critically about their moral responsibilities. Conclusion. In conclusion, Peter Singer's Famine, Affluence, and Morality is a seminal work that challenges readers to confront their moral responsibilities in an interconnected world. Through a compelling utilitarian framework, Singer makes a powerful case for the ethical obligation of affluent individuals to assist those in dire need, regardless of distance. While critiques of his position exist, the essay's impact on moral philosophy and social activism remains undeniable. It serves as a clarion call for individuals to recognize their capacity to effect change and to act in ways that prioritize the welfare of others, ultimately fostering a more compassionate and just world. Singer's work encourages an ongoing dialogue about the nature of morality, the role of charity, and the responsibilities we hold toward one another in an age of global interconnectedness. As we navigate the complexities of modern life, Singer's insights remain relevant, urging us to reflect on our choices and their implications for humanity as a whole.